Hey, this is Mark with One More Cast Pro Guide Service. I just wanted to do a recap of the last two tournaments on Smith Lake. The first one was the BFL, finished 14th, had a real good finish. And then had the ABT there this past Saturday and finished 80th out of 225. Of course, that's not where I wanted to finish, but it's not bad for the points. Top 75 made the championship at the end of the season. So, I'm just 5 spots out right now. I was going to go over some of the baits I used. First off, I caught a few on one of my new finesse flipping jigs with a missile mini D-chunk on there. This one right here is a green pumpkin with some purple in it. Weighed in a few fish using a Kitech Easy Swimmer. That's light hitch. Caught a lot of fish at the ABT on this right here. It really was I lost one that would have probably put us in the top 20. But that's just how it goes sometimes. The weights were very tight. There wasn't a huge difference in weight between 80th and 30th. So, it was one of them things where one fish would have made a big difference. And I was throwing the Kitech on a medium light spinning rod by ALX, the Zolo Maestro. And when I wasn't using the Kitech on there, I was throwing a drop shot. And I caught a lot of my fish during the BFL on the drop shot on the Berkeley Max Scent flatworm. And sometimes I would also throw the Best FM Baits drop shot worm. I'd alternate that when I wanted a different profile on the drop shot as well as the shaky head. Another key bait that probably put more fish in the boat during the ABT than anything was the shaky head. That's a shaky head that I make. It's a football head. I got a sickle hook in there. Really keeps them buttoned up. I was using the Berkeley Max Scent hit worm and green pumpkin magic, and again alternating with the Best FM Baits drop shot worm as well in the same color. And I would also throw green pumpkin with purple in it. And that right there is on the ALX Enox Wizard. Great rod. It's pretty much a shaky head rod. It's what it's for. Another bait that I caught several fish, and a lot of times were my better fish, and I think that if I could have gotten the rest of them to eat on that, and as you can tell, you can see some teeth marks on there, was the Yum Sonar Minnow on another head that I make, another moon eye head I make. I've got a pretty decent hook in there. When they bite it, they get hooked up. I was on the right fish, but I couldn't get them all to bite. When I could get them to bite, they were usually like 3-pounders. And they'd come up, they'd look at it, and then they'd run from it. It seemed like, or they'd just sit there and look at it. There's just some of them I couldn't get to bite it for some reason. And if I could have it would have made a huge difference. I threw that on the ALX Enox Charmer rod. Great rod. It's a medium light as well. It's a 611. I would probably, I love this rod. I love all these ALX rods. They're great rods. For that mini or that finesse flipping jig, I threw the Enox Strike. Great rod for it. Had it on an 8-to-1 gear ratio reel. Had no problem with keeping them buttoned up. The other thing, did catch a few on a Mega Bass 110 Junior Plus 1 in Northern Secret. They bit it very well. I had one real good one pull off on it during the BFL that would have made a huge difference, possibly put me in the top 10, maybe top 5. It is what it is. The jerkbait bite wasn't as on during the ABT practice nor the tournament. Caught a few in practice on some crankbaits, caught a few in practice on spinnerbait, but all that was kind of out the door on tournament day and just kind of had to go finesse fishing, which, when you got 225 boats on a lake, that's kind of how it goes. You got to do something different than what everybody else is doing. I was going to give you a waypoint for Smith. I've got it pulled up here on my boat right here. Hold on, bear with me. See right there, there's your coordinates. That spot right there is a very good spot on Smith. It's up near Goat Island. What we were doing was fishing right there at the drop of it. The fish were all up on the edge of that drop, but there would also be some up on the flatter spot on it too. Go up there, throw a drop shot, throw a shaky head, throw the swim bait, basically anything you want to throw. It's really a community hole. I've seen a lot of people fish it, but maybe you can take some of these tips on what to throw there and just go and catch a bunch of fish. There was a lot of 2-pounders there. There's some better fish there. I think we caught a couple 3s, had a 4 or 2 on there as well. Go out there, give it a shot. Smith's a fun lake to fish. I love Smith. Sometimes I wish I lived a little bit closer to it. I don't really like that 2-hour drive to Coleman or Jasper, but it's a fun lake to fish. I wish I got to fish it more often. Walker County people really know how to take care of the fishermen. I like to thank them a lot for the way they helped out with the ABT. It's a great tournament. Anyway, hit Smith up, give me a call. Would love to get out on the water with you here at Weiss or any other Coosa River lake. If you want to learn how to do something, give me a shout. All these baits you can get at Talking Tackle up in Chattanooga, Just Fishing in Bristol, Virginia. They'll take care of you. Give me a shout.